Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome.
We are here,
Welcome.
here on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. We missed you last week.
She is super duper excited because today is her birthday.
It's my birthday. It's my birthday. It's my birthday.
I have a real quick story. So we went out to eat and we got a discount, and like on the receipt, the discount part, like it was the seniors discount. I just thought it was really funny. I really did.
Listen, I'm that much closer. Hi, Adria. Thank you for joining us. I'm that much closer to being a senior citizen.
She's smiling now. You know how to.
Listen, I'm all about a discount.
By any means possible.
By any means necessary. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about money, 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 money. How to get that money.
The value of extra.
Wow.
What is that?
So it's really interesting that we're, joking about this whole 10% senior discount that we got on today's dinner. And it may not sound like a lot, but that is, guess what? Extra. Every dollar that you save in one area becomes extra money in the budget.
Correct.
The B word. The B word. Most people don't really like to talk about budgets because it's constraining and constricting.
And it's not a happy time, especially if you haven't done it before. It's one of those, oh my gosh, you either realize how on track you are, or you realize how far to the left or right or up or down, whatever. But you realize that you're just not where you need to be. And if you thought that you were doing something and realize that you just have work to do, it could be defeating.
Exactly. So we wanted to just come on and talk a little bit about the extra. Now, if you've been following Regroup for Change for the last several years, we are a legit LLC. We are a company that is co-founded by Oliver and myself several years ago with the purpose of equipping and empowering individuals, families, and organizations to regroup and to shift from ineffective financial decision-making practices to effective financial decision-making practices. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're coming to you. That's why we bring you these live videos so that you can see an inside track of who we are and what it is that we're actually talking about. That's why we post videos and questions and resources on the Facebook page for our community to be informed about what's going on. That's why we offer courses and resources to you to help you have your money on track. There is nothing like having money in your pocket. There is nothing like having more money at the end of the month.
So I think if just to make it, just to come a little closer, we help you live an abundant life with what you currently have.
So it doesn't take anything more?
What do you mean?
I don't have to go out and get a second job in order to live the life I want?
If you want to, but we help you live an abundant life, show you how to live an abundant life with your current situation, your current means. A lot of times not having a budget and we're living paycheck to paycheck, we tend to think that we can't do extra, or it's going to take a loan, or I got to put it on credit, or what have you. But there are certain things that that are going to happen. As long as you wake up and you're breathing, you'll have a birthday. When Christmas is, Christmas, families' birthdays, Thanksgiving, any other time.
Black Friday.
Any other time that you spend money, unless it's when something breaks.
A car, an air conditioner.
Unless it's when something breaks and it has to be replaced. These are things that you can pay for, like that you can, like that they're coming, so you budget for them. Opposed to, like I said, putting it on credit, going into debt for things that you could have paid for outright. But go ahead.
Yes, I'm so glad you said that, because yes, we actually literally within this past 7 days paid for an air conditioner
to be replaced.
Okay, that moment is over.
But because we had a warranty, we was under warranty. What it could have cost,
it didn't.
It didn't cost us. So,
and what it did cost, it didn't come out of our budget. It didn't come out of our everyday money. Why not? Because we put money away
in the budget.
So that's what we wanted to talk about. Not necessarily talk about the air conditioning, but I was looking at our budget tracking workbook a few weeks ago, about a few months ago, and I was looking at what comes out of our income and what comes out of our paychecks. And so what we talk about in creating a budget is knowing exactly every dollar that comes in and then knowing every dollar that goes out, right? And so we have created a program to help you to get a budget if you don't have one.
Correct.
But even if you have a budget, sometimes tracking things can be a challenge. And so we created this bill tracking workbook, which has worksheets in it to help you to track your, I don't know if you can see that, but
she was trying to poke my eye out with this budget book, though.
It will help you to track your bills. It's one thing to know on a budget template or spreadsheet what needs to be paid. It's a whole other process to know how much needs to be paid and when it needs to be paid, because that's how you avoid the overfee, the overdraft, the late fees, blah, blah, blah. And then in this book, there's a spot for you to note when you paid it. And guess what? The confirmation number. Because how many of you know that when you make a payment, there's a number that pops up on that screen that says confirmation number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or ABC 4, 5, 6. It's important to write that down. If you don't have a payment date and a confirmation number, you probably didn't make the payment.
Your payment didn't happen. And in the event something happens where it doesn't show up, the one thing that they ask you is, do you have confirmation that the payment was made? Well, no, I didn't get anything. Or, yeah, I do. Eyes and Igloo, 6764572 got it. So it's very important. The workbook, and it's not trying to sell you the workbook, but the workbook letting you know that the things that we tend to forget about sometimes they're right here. And once you begin to work the steps in your head and you work through the steps like you see them, one box, another box, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you go 1, 2, 3, and then you happen to get to 7, 8, 9, something's wrong. And you need to make sure that you have this information. It's a tracking for you so you know that you've done it. It's a tracking for you to help you get into the process of doing it. And it's a tracking for you in the event anything happens. You can go back to, I paid this last month. So let me go to what's this, April?
This is September.
August. I was going to use a random month, but you can go back to August and say, right, that's number 9 right here. Paid this.
Very good.
And it's there.
So as I was looking at our bill tracking workbook a couple of months ago, I realized that we were paying for health insurance from my agency. And Oliver's agency was offering him insurance. And I sat and I said, well, let's find out how much yours costs. Because I'm tracking the numbers, I can see how much it is that I'm paying for insurance. So it's not that my paycheck is just a paycheck, right? How many of you, when you get your pay stub, do you actually read it? Do you pay attention to the number of tax exemptions that you have? Are you paying attention to how much is coming out for Social Security? Are you paying attention to how much is coming out for insurance? Are you paying attention to every little thing that's coming out? Because those numbers of what comes out adds up. So your income, I've gotten caught when people have said, so what's your gross income? I'm like, I don't know. I know my net income because I know what number goes into my bank every other week or every bi-monthly or every month or however often you get paid, right? So I know that number. But if I don't understand that my paycheck is my net income because there are some things that have come out on top, then I may not add those things into my budget. So I may not be adding my health insurance premiums into my budget. Right. So it's a small thing, but it's an easy way to get extra money, which is what we're talking about today. Tying it in for y'all. So when we looked at how much we were paying in health insurance premiums through my agency, I said, well, let's check out yours and see how much they are. And the numbers were slight, to the tune of $30 and I think 26 cents or so per pay period. It's not a lot of money. But let me ask you this. I think it was 30.16. So let me ask you, what would you do with the extra $30 at pay period? $30 per pay period. What would you do with that? Drop us in the comments and say how you would spend $30 in pay period. And if for whatever reason your brain is like, it's only $30, let me break it a little bit wider for you. So if you take that same amount per month, because most bill tracking and most budgets are done monthly. So if we want to say about a month, let's say $60.
60 times 12.
What would you do with $60 per month? What could you do with that money? So I want you to put in a comment either what you would do with $30 per pay or $60 per month. And then Oliver was doing the math for us.
And 60 times 12 is $720. So
$720 for the year.
Yes.
Of extra money.
That you
potentially.
That you just didn't. Well,
what would you do?
What would you do with that? That's what
we need you to think about. And that's what we want you to put in the comments. What would you do with the extra $720 a year? What vacation could you take your family on? What
you said Black Friday. I mean,
what could you buy on Black Friday? Whose birthday could you buy a gift for at the tune of $720?
Where you couldn't buy a gift before.
What could you sow into? How could you donate those funds? $720 a year, $60 a month, $30 a pay. Even if you said, I wanted to bless somebody, I wanted to be a blessing to a homeless person, I want to sow into my church, I want to start a new ministry, I want to
start a business.
$30 per pay. Doesn't sound like a lot, but we were able to put that money back into our budget simply by tracking, simply by knowing where our money was going. Because if we did not know where our money was going, then we would be giving it to the insurance company.
Right. And they expect that.
How wasteful is that?
They expect it. They expect you to not know where your money's going. They expect you to not to question. They offer you something and you take it.
And we take it. How often do we read the fine print? How often do we wonder, can I get a better deal somewhere else? We're only giving you this example today, but these are the types of principles that we talk about in our discovery call. If you want to book a discovery call, send us a message and we'll let you know. You can go to the website and we will let you know how to get a discovery call with us. We want to help you in the same way that we help ourselves. We're not trying to keep this information to ourselves, but the example we gave is simply our health insurance premiums that have saved us $60 per month.
That's just the one thing.
$60 per month. What could you do with it? You know, Oliver is going to be traveling to New Jersey in a couple of days. Guess how much his plane ticket was? What could you do with an extra $60 a month? What meal could you enhance for your family that you wouldn't have been able to do before? What other supply could you buy for your children for school that you couldn't do before? What activity could your children participate in that they weren't able to participate in before?
Because
how can you increase your life's circumstances or your just your situation? How could you enhance your surroundings? What single mother do you know could benefit from just a portion of that per month just to show up in her mailbox? What family member do you have that could benefit from you sowing a seed into their life once a month or once a quarter, based on money that you didn't have to do anything extra to earn, based on money that you just reallocated? So we're just talking about a reallocation of what already exists. That's how you get extra money into your account. So again, the example was a health insurance premium. But what about your cable bill? What about your phone bill? Mm-hmm. What about the apartment or the house that you're living in? Is it what you need? Now, obviously, if you need more space and you need to upgrade, then this isn't the point for you.
But if you have too much space,
if you have too much, maybe it's okay to downsize. Mm-hmm. You know, our daughter is looking for a car of her own. We afford her the opportunity to drive a car, but we've made it clear it is not her car to own. And so she wants to own her car, and she has the rights to do that. But she has to find a car that's in her budget rather than a car that fits the
status quo.
There you go. So are you living above your means? And is there a place where you can come down? Not to sacrifice too much, but to make the lifestyle better.
You're still
to be able to do more.
You're still able to live. You're still able. You. I think where people get caught up, they feel that they have to. They're going to, like, their life is going to totally change. They're going to go from having something to having nothing. But if you're living above your means and you're living paycheck to, and you have more month, right? Mm-hmm. You have more month than you have money at the end of the month, whatever that thing is.
That's it.
Your stress level is higher. You are not getting sleep. It may affect your health. There are so many other things that go along with that, because you're not sleeping well at night, because you might be worried about the hookup man coming. You might be worried about getting a note from the little Martian dude because you ain't pay your rent. You might be worried about when you get home, are your lights going to be on? So you see how being able to track your bills, have a budget, and still live within your means, because we didn't give any. We didn't say anything that says you got to cut it all off.
Right.
If you want to get rid of cable, you can get rid of cable. You could add that to but that's your choice. But you can still live in abundance. You can still live an abundant life and within your means. You just have to be diligent in some areas, and you just have to pay attention. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to certain things. We just accept it because that's what it's been. And you're leaving money on the table for somebody else.
So our message today is just to encourage you to find the extra money within where you already are. So take a step back and take a look at what you're spending, and take a look at where the money is going, and ask yourself, are you leaving money on the table? Are you giving more money to the man than the man deserves? Is there a way where you can change? I'm not saying you've got to cut it off. I'm not saying you've got to do away with the thing, but is there a way where you can change one of your budgetary line items so that at the end of the day,
that was a good one.
You get more into your budget. So you're
on your side,
bringing money into your side. Instead of pushing it out, let's bring the money back in, and then you can decide how to best allocate those resources. Whether you're putting extra money on a bill, whether you're sowing seeds into a ministry, whether you're buying meals for the homeless, whether you're starting a business or putting money aside to set up your LLC, whether you're doing something for your children, whether you're sending money to a loved one, whatever it is, there's more work to be done.
Right.
We've got work to do, and it takes money to do it. And in order to have the money to do the things that we want to do and the things that we're called to do, then we've got to reshape our thinking about money, and we've got to put our hands to the plow and say, I've got to make some better decisions. I've got to make some different decisions, and I've got to go ahead and do something different today.
There's something that you want to do that you can't do because you're strapped. There's something that you want to do for you or for somebody else, or that's going to benefit you and somebody else, that you can't do because you're not paying attention. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. Doesn't mean that you can't do it. All it means is, in order to do that thing, you have to do that thing. And until you decide that you want to do that thing to make the change, it's always going to be that thing that you want to do. So if you could put something towards it, if you could put something on it so you can get to it, so you can get it done, why wouldn't you? So if you, honestly, and everybody won't do it, because nobody wants anybody in their business. It's not about being in your business, because a lot of times people that need help say they don't need help.
Right.
And those that need help will reach out to somebody that can help them. And if it's not us, because you don't want us to know whatever, I'm gonna need you to find somebody that's gonna help you.
That's right.
Find that $30, $10. I don't care if it's $5.
Every dollar counts. It all adds up, and that's what we miss. And that's why those dollars sounded small when I said we changed some insurance decisions,
mm-hmm.
and it saved $30 a pay. Somebody is going to listen and say, it's only $30.
It's just $30.
It's just $30.
How many times have you gone someplace and you've heard it or you said it? It was just $10. I'm not going to fight over it.
But take a step back and think about when somebody invited you to dinner. For the married couples where your spouse says, I want you to take me on a date, but those $30 adds up. So that could be a meal. I mean, you could go on a date for $30. That could be a date night for somebody. That could be an afternoon ice cream for the family, or taking the kids out to celebrate a stressful week with this being stuck in a house, or having to do work online. Maybe you want to reward them for pressing through, and just to let them know that you acknowledge their work.
Right.
It adds up. What could you do with just $5? Well, maybe $5 a pay, you can't see it, but maybe $5 a pay is allowing you to buy a cup of coffee at Starbucks that you weren't able to buy or afford before, and you see everybody else getting it, and you wonder, well, what's so good about Starbucks? Well, instead of overdrafting a bill to try Starbucks, put the $5 in your pocket and then spend it when you want to. Or think about how
you're giving too much. You're giving too much.
We sow into different ministries, right, and then it's time for a donation, or maybe it's time to tithe and you don't really have anything to tithe. Well, that $5
right,
can be a sacrificial seed that you sow, but if you don't have it, then you can't sow it. So that $5 might be the only $5, the last $5 you have, that you give back to him and allow him to bless and multiply.
Right.
It's not minimal. That $5 to me, let me tell you what $5 to me would mean today.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
I can get a cupcake. I can get a red velvet cupcake for $4, maybe $4 and some change. I can go get me a buntlet, buntlet cake for $3.99 or for $4 flat. $5 does something. It is amazing when I walk in and I say, daughter, do you want a nothing but cake? And they're like, yeah, because we don't get them every day. But that $5 that I added to my budget might allow me to do that for them. Right. That $5, maybe I go buy a buntlet or a cheeseburger from McDonald's, and I can bless the homeless person on the corner. There's a lot that can be done with $5. And so I don't want us to minimize it's just something that can bless you in a way that you never expected. It's just something that can bless your family in a way that you've never expected. It's just something that can bless your community in a way that you've never expected, with just what's in your hands, with just you reallocating your budget. That's all it takes is just a second look at what you're spending. So he said we gotta go. So let's go. Let me give you these takeaways so we can get on out of here. I want some cake now. The takeaways are
get cake.
Yeah, you can. And if you want to sow me a seed so that I can get some cake, you are more welcome to send me a little nugget
for her birthday.
For my birthday. M Green Motivates at Cash App. We got you. But
it's a shameless plug.
Shameless plug. But the takeaway for today is to go back and look at your budget.
Right.
And look at every dollar that's going out. And look at every dollar that's coming in. And say, one, is my budget secure? That's number one.
Right.
The second step is to say, is there any place within the money that is going out, no matter where it's going, is there any place aside from my tithes? Let me say that. And aside from me continuing to pay what I pay to live where I live so I have a roof over my head, is there any place that I can reallocate, that I can adjust? Is there any place that I can change up the line item, not decrease it? I'm sorry, not delete it, I should say, but any place that I can decrease. So even if that means that the place that you're living, the roof that you're living under, that you adjusted at the end of the lease period, maybe that's a place to save money. I'm just saying. There are places in the budget that you already have that will bring money back into your pocket. And then the third thing is just begin to imagine, what could you do with an extra $30 per pay? What could you do with an extra $60 per month? What could you do with an extra $720 per year? What difference could that make for your life? What difference could that make for your family's life? What difference could that make for your community coming from your hands? There is money being left on the table. There is extra money in what you already have. And we are here to help you to find those places, to find out where those pockets exist, so that your pockets can be just a little bit deeper.
Right.
If you are interested in ordering this bill tracking workbook, you can find a link to the Amazon store at www.regroupforchange.com. Or you can go to Amazon.com and put in Regroup for Change, and you can order your bill tracking workbook there. Or you are welcome to contact us, and we have books on hand that we are able to ship out to you or deliver to you. You can send a $12 gift to $Regroup for Change, and we will contact you back, get some more information from you, and we'll get the book to you. Now, we're going to need your information. So if you do the Cash App, make sure that we have a phone number, email address, or something to hit you up. We will get this in the mail to you immediately. We want you to be prosperous. We want you to have the overflow and the abundance that has already been promised to you. We're here to help you get there. Some of us don't think we need help. Some of us don't want to admit that it's okay to ask for help. I get it. We've been there. We've done that. How many t-shirts we got on it? Too many, right? But this is time out for pride. This is the time to dig in and say, I've got to do something better. I'm ready for something better. I'm ready for something more.
It's never too late to start.
Never, ever.
Despite the fact that it's September, it means nothing.
Nothing at all. Let's go ahead and get us started now so that you end this last year, you preserve what you can for the last quarter of the year, and you go into 2021 with a bang. It's not too late.
All right.
So, you know how to contact us.
You got your takeaways.
You know how to send me money for a cupcake. And you know how to order your bill tracking workbook. We will be standing in the gap with you, praying for abundance in your. He will be too. He's just not gonna say it, but I can't help myself. I can't help myself. I pray for my communities every day. But we're standing in a gap with you. We believe in you, and we want to help you find that extra money in the same way that we have done it, in the same way we continue to rework the steps. We don't say this stuff and not implement it. We implement it over and over and over again because it works.
Right.
And we want to show you how it can work. So let us know if you want a copy of the book. Let us know if you want to set up a discovery call. You can find that link as well at www.regroupforchange.com, and we will be here to serve you. Have an amazing week. Peace.